Hey, Cracky. I started playing the guitar, the six-string guitar, when I was 6 years old. My father was a musician, and my brother actually was a bass player, did a lot of session work at Criteria in the 60s. He also did a TV show out of Stuart, Florida in the 60s. So I grew up watching him on TV, eating Cheerios in my underwear every Sunday morning on the TV show. Started playing professionally with my father's band at 13. I believe I kind of gravitated towards the bass because of my brother, and he also told me if I wanted to stay busy the rest of my life as a musician, take up the bass. There's a million guitar players, a million drummers. Nobody really wants to be a bass player, except for me and about 1,000 other bass players out there. So, thanks for your question. Hey, Timothy. We actually went to Afghanistan this year. It's our first year for not going to Iraq. Trip was well. We did 5 FOBs or forward operating bases in 5 days. Toby did 15 in 5 days. He and Scotty Emmerich would go out as soon as we landed at the main FOB. He and Scotty would go out and do 2 small FOBs, come back, we do the main show every night. Our reception is great. It's always great over there. The main question I get from many of the troops is that, do the people of the state still support our efforts? We always tell them we do. Thanks for your question. Oh, Black Betty Blam-a-Lam. As band leader, really it can be a tough job from time to time. My job is to make sure we're all squared away. I've been with Toby 21 years. We were roommates on the road for years and years. So he knows we have kind of alike opinions on certain things. So I just make sure all the ducks are in a row. Back in the old days, we would pick songs out of the top 20 when we were a cover band, and I would rehearse the band, write the words down with the changes over them. He would come in and do them the first night of the week-long gig we were doing. And so it's always been that way. With this group, it's a real easy job. We've got real good players all the way around. So basically, I'm like a third base coach. You know, if nothing's wrong, I ain't fixing it. Thanks for your question. Hey, Charlie. I ended up as a bass player for Toby. I was working a small sit-down gig in Oklahoma City at the time, doing 50s and 60s music. Toby's bass player at the time had been with him since right out of high school. They were together, I think, like 3 years, and just started to work out of the city. His bass player used to come watch me play at the sit-down gig, and I caught wind that he was going to be leaving, and I wanted to get out on the road again. So I went and auditioned for Toby. It took about 10 minutes. I got the gig. He was playing in town, so you never know. People say it was a real lucky deal, and I agree, but remember, I saw a lot of talent, so you guys keep your eyes open out there. You can see talent coming at you. It'll run at you like a freight train, so don't miss the opportunity when it comes to you. Hey, Kelly. My inspirations come from artists as well as bass players. I'm influenced by every kind of music you can imagine. I'm influenced by bass players such as Verdine White, James Jameson, Jaco Pastorius, just every kind of music has influenced me. I don't care if you've been playing bass 2 days. If you have something that I like to hear, I'm going to listen to you and see what I can get off of you. Thanks for your question. Hey, Christopher. As you can see, we're backstage in Tampa, Florida. I figured I'd give you a better look at my rig. I'm using the 2 Gins-Benz GB750s, actually using 2 of these 410 Gins-Benz cabinets. I'm using the little Chucky Signature Series Dean bass. As far as pedals or processing, I have 2 DIs, a mic out. Other than that, dude, all I've got is a really good cord that attaches to my wireless pack. So no processing, I just get all the tones I need out of my hands and out of my bass, out of my amp. So I hope that helps you out, brother. Thanks. Hey Johnny, best advice is just keep doing it. You got to scuffle. The economy is going to ebb and flow throughout your career. Fortunately or unfortunately, however you may look at it, when times get hard, people tend to blow off that last car payment before they lose their car and spend their money partying to wash away their problems. So sometimes you'll actually see a spike in the entertainment world. Not that I recommend that, but I think you'll see that. As far as advice, man, anything musical, remember this is not like the minor leagues in baseball. They don't have any money in you, so they're not watching your progress. It's a real be prepared for lightning to strike situation. That's all I can tell you. You have to keep pumping, and make sure you're as prepared as you can be at all times, because you never know when the guy's going to walk into the club and see you and say, that's the band I need. Hey Mark, I'm playing the Little Chucky Signature Series by Dean, I might add. Great company. I suggest you check out their website. What makes it different is this is actually a 6-string neck blocked for 5. This new style, we've reduced the body, or as I like to say, sexied it up a little bit. It's either alder or ash wood, so you have a good symbiotic vibration from the headstock to the tailpiece. Hey, the inlay here is actually part of my tattoo. Excuse me, I know, they're guns. But these feathers were done, this part of my tattoo was done across the street from the Blue Note in Greenwich Village, actually because I couldn't afford the drink minimum at Greenwich Village. So I opted drunk for the tattoo, and somehow it's ended up on my bass. I think it's pretty cool, man. It's just an applicable bass all the way across the board. I don't care what style of music you're playing. For years I played an old bass by a different company, and when I went to a 5, I landed with Dean, and I'll never go anyplace else. Thanks for your question, bud. I started with Dean. I'd been with some other companies, and you know, there was a lot of moving around, big companies swallowing up little companies. I'm not a big company guy. I like more the mom and pop vibe that I get from Dean. How I actually ended up with him is our drummer with Easy Money Band, Dave McAfee, knew a bass player that had just signed with Dean. And I was kind of hunting around, and he knew what I was looking for, so he gave me the heads up, and I made contact with the guys at Dean. We talked, I checked out their low-line guitars to make sure they were playable, so that, you know, kids had an opportunity to buy something, their parents didn't get hurt, and they could actually play it all the way through their career if need be. And the people were just great there, so that's how I ended up with Dean, and that's why I'll stay with Dean. Thanks for your question. Rebecca, really, come on. What am I supposed to say here, Beck? Help me out. I can't go with this. Hey, give me another question down the road. I'll answer that. I can't answer that question. Sorry, Rebecca. First time at NAMM, absolutely incredible. Didn't know what to expect. The other artists were great. Again, great family. Anybody that's associated with Dean is that we're like. I love NAMM, and I hope they have me back. Thanks for the question. Hey, Ruthie. I don't know about the Chucky dance. After 21 years out here, my knees are shot. I try to throw in one Chucky dance a year. Maybe you'll be there. Keep putting the signs up. I'm sure Toby will force me to do it one more once. The Chucky dance was just a kind of a joke from the club days way back, and it matured into something totally ridiculous. But thanks for asking.
Really, man, come on.
Hey, this is Chuck Goff with Toby Keith's Easy Money Band, and you're watching Dean TV.
Been abused. Somebody blew up a building, somebody stole a car, somebody got away, somebody didn't get too far, yeah.